2019 was a remarkable year for speedrunning, with several records broken, certain channels growing exponentially, and more money than ever raised for charity. But what is speedrunning? Where did it come from, and how has it changed the gaming landscape? Today we're going to have a brief run through the history of this phenomenon. Let's go. Put simply, speedrunning is completing a video game in the quickest time possible, but that description doesn't quite do it justice. Even if you think you're good at video games, some of the runs out there will leave you feeling like a novice as speedrunners perform death-defying parkour and pull off bizarre glitches to tear through games that would normally take days, weeks, months or longer in a matter of minutes or hours. Positive reinforcement of speed in video gaming can be traced back to its early days. In the original Super Mario Bros, your remaining time is added to your score at the end of a level, encouraging repeated plays to reach the flag faster than last time. The concept of Sonic the Hedgehog even came from his developers racing to complete the original Mario as quickly as possible, leading to the creation of a super fast platforming character. In this sense, speed has always been linked to success in video games, rewarding repetition, instinct, manipulation and mastery. Hours of practice, dedication, and maybe a wee smidgen of luck are what make a good speedrunner. Speedrunning as a scene itself can be traced back to Doom in the early 90s, in which players could record their gameplay footage, while gaming magazines later pitted players against each other via snail mail with more primitive photographic evidence. But it has mainly, and inevitably, grown rapidly in the online era, gaining particular traction in the last number of years through the likes of YouTube and Twitch, with channels like Carl Jobst Summoning Salt chronicling the evolution of speedrunning records to help make the overall concept a subculture in its own right. Developers have become increasingly aware of speedrunning too. Metroid was an early example, offering increasingly revealing glimpses of Samus and her skivvies for faster completion times for any pixel perverts out there, while one of my recent favourites, Resident Evil 7, grants you unlockables for completing the game in a few hours. Breath of the Wild's director Hidemaru Fujibayashi even described speedruns of the game's shrines as according to plan. But as well as inspiring developers, speedruns have also stumped some of them. IGN recently hosted a very entertaining series that saw dev teams react to speedrunners tearing their carefully crafted games wide open.
What is she walking on?
Oh, our level designers cannot watch this walkthrough.
That took us so long to tweak and make playable.
So how does speedrunning work? Well, it differs from game to game, each having its own set of caveats, but there are some general terms that have come to define it, and any percentage speedrun is simply to get from the start of the game to the end in the fastest time possible. This is when you'll see speedrunners using glitches and manipulating the game in jaw-dropping ways to get to the credits, even if it means cutting out huge chunks of the story. There's no use of hacking or cheat cartridges though, it all has to be done solely within the confines of the software. Some players do attempt glitchless speedruns though, which means they would complete the minimum amount required to see the end credits, or set certain targets to hit along the way. Then there's 100% completion. As the name suggests, this entails finishing the game in the fastest time possible while also unlocking everything, therefore not missing anything out as you would in an any percentage run. Times for these runs tend to stretch into hours instead of minutes, but still make an entire adventure look like a cakewalk. Tool-assisted speedruns, or TAS, are a less authentic but interesting concept where games aren't played normally, but edited frame by frame in order to create a hypothetical optimum run. The element of risk is removed here, but there's still a ton of fun to watch. On top of this, players have also set even more weird and wonderful handicaps on themselves, such as playing games blindfolded or with Guitar Hero controllers. Speedrunning is, for the most part, a healthily competitive scene, and often a collaborative one. No sooner has a speedrunner found a new exploit and smashed a world record than others are clamouring to top it. However, this phenomenon predates modern video gaming. In 1954, English athlete Roger Bannister became the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes, something until then thought to be physically impossible. In the years since though, it's been done over 1,500 times and lowered by several seconds, becoming the standard for male athletes. Similarly, speedrunning records are continually being bested. The record for the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time had sat at 17 minutes for the last several months until being broken in January, when the discovery of a new glitch took it down to 13 minutes. Since this method was uncovered, several other speedrunners have posted faster times, even during the production of this video. This type of run is controversial though, as it involves very little proper gameplay, just some erratic prancing about in Kokiri Forest before skipping right to the end credits. Very technically proficient and intriguing from a mechanical perspective, but not offering much in the way of entertainment value. But either way, while there probably are reasonable limits to both the capabilities of the human body and game software, surprises like this are always cropping up. Speedrunner Sinister1 once said the chances of beating Mike Tyson in Punch-Out while wearing a blindfold were similar to the chances of winning the lottery, but lo and behold, he and multiple others have since done it. Perhaps the most definitive symbol of speedrunning is Games Done Quick, a long-running series of charity events that see players attempt record-breaking runs of games in front of an audience, with viewers pledging money and support are often to influence in-game decisions. In a 2015 playthrough of speedrun favourite Super Metroid, a very generous benefactor bid $10,000 purely to save the animals during the climactic escape section at the end of the game, which required adding around 30 seconds to the total time of 1 hour, 19 minutes and 47 seconds. To date, GDQ has raised almost $26 million for various good causes. Closer to home we have UKSG, the United Kingdom Speedrunning Gathering, a Glasgow-based speedrunning event inspired by the involvement of founder Paul Lambropoulos, known in the scene as Paulister, in the wider European Speedrunner Assembly. Since its inception in the winter of 2017, UKSG have held 4 events per year, growing steadily and with organisers having plans to expand it and move to a more central UK location to take advantage of what Paul calls the vibrant but still growing UK speedrunning scene. To date, UKSG have raised £6,300 for the Young Minds mental health charity. And they said video games were bad for society. Speedrunning is an example of how today's consumers can take a medium into their own hands in transformative ways and create something new, even for very old video games, and often for the good of wider society. And time. Thank you as always for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed this wee speedrun through the art of speedrunning, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to BBC The Social Gaming for more in future.